Today, drama means ulterior motives, drama means unexpected romance, and drama means falling into your own trap. Hi, welcome back to DramaMeans podcast. Today we're talking about the 2025 Chinese BL drama Revenge Love.
And first, a little bit of a summary. A young man sets out to exact revenge on his gold-digging ex-girlfriend by seducing her new boyfriend, only to find himself falling head over heels for the man himself. And we're back. We are back on DramaMeans after a very long break.
Yes, sorry, it was longer than we expected.
You know, life happens.
Yeah.
Much like in drama, life happens.
Life be lifin'.
But we are back. We are happy to be back doing an episode about Revenge Love.
Yeah. We did finish this a while ago, so with all the different dramas, we will try
to catch up a little bit.
Yes.
We're delinquent in our responsibilities.
So I do have to say that I watched the original Chinese BL Counterattack. I think it also has another name called Falling in Love with a Rival.
And this is a while ago.
It was like 2015 or 2016.
And it's kind of like first wave Chinese BL heyday kind of stuff.
Yeah, like there was a time, like I feel like 2015-ish, in that time period, it was like a rise in BL content, no matter in what country, like Chinese BL, Taiwanese BL, and Thai BL, they all like really had like a rise around 2015, 2016, that kind of time. So I know in Thai BL I watched Lovesick first, and then Taiwanese BL, His Story, and then Chinese BL, there was one called, I think it was called Like Love.
Okay.
That was my first Chinese BL, and at that time, it was pretty risque. I remember, like, it was a Chinese BL with, like, full sex scene.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's interesting how those, like, waves happen. Like, it takes one successful one. Like, one that gets well received, and then, you know, we look at that and go, oh, there's a market for that, let's make more of it. It happens in every single genre. It happens in every single country, kind of the same way, where, you know, like the joke about, you know, Armageddon was a hit, and now we have to make our own asteroid movie because there was an asteroid movie. Like, it gets that specific, too, with these sort of waves.
Yeah, I agree. So that kind of happened, and Counterattack came out around that time, but it was such a short, like, indie project feel, where, like, it was super low budget. The story was really cut short. You only got, like, the main points of the story, and it's based off of a book. But, like, you don't actually get to watch the characters, like, develop emotions and feelings and like, follow them through the journey. And so when I found out that they were going to do a remake of Counterattack, I was excited because I really did like it. Although, like, it's kind of toxic. It's like the topic is very, like, you know how I feel about approaching with, like, ulterior motives.
Well, which is, like, the plot line is approaching with ulterior motives, but there's a way to do it that, like, isn't predatory, I guess.
Yeah. So it's, I guess, because, like, the goal wasn't necessarily, I mean, it was to, like, mess with the guy, but, like, the real goal was to, like, revenge on the girlfriend or the ex-girlfriend. So, not that this is a good excuse.
No, but I think you make an interesting point there, because a lot of the ones I think that gross us out are, I'm going to make you fall in love with me because I'm either obsessed with you or I'm obsessed with the idea. Like, it's this, you don't even know this person because you haven't had a single conversation with them. You've just looked at them from afar and you're so obsessed. You're like, now I will trick you into falling in love with me. And this one is less of that. It's more, I'm going to get back at her by seducing her boyfriend, which is something like anyone who went to high school can like relate to, right? Like, oh, I'm going to get back at him by dating his best friend, you know, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's not as gross because it's not like I'm going to make him fall in love with me because I can have him then. You know, that kind of evolves once they get to know each other. Weird how that happens.
Yeah. Not that it's not toxic, it's pretty toxic. And a lot of domineering choking happening in this one.
Yeah, the kind of consensual non-consent or sometimes just non-consensual romance that does lean into some toxicity.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the remake thing, though, because I think this is something we don't do here in the States enough, which is remake a movie that didn't get a fair shake. Like, we like to remake our hits, which I never have understood, like why you take a movie that's almost perfect and you're like, well, let's do that again. And you're like, no, I liked it the first time. What I would love to see is us take concepts that were great but didn't get executed well the first time because bad budgets or whatever. But like, no, there's something here, and I know if we had a really honest crack at it, we could make something great. Like, those are the remakes I want to see being made.
Yeah. That, I never really thought of that, because, I mean, we are getting so many remakes and so many, like, you know, movie number 17 of...
Yeah, in the sequel in the franchise, it's all about franchising and stuff, and I get it, like, you're playing on what's popular, but it never made any sense for you, you know, to make a shot-for-shot remake of something that was great. Like, these kind of updated, you know, Lion King live version now. It's like, nah, I saw that already. Maybe you make, like, you know, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. That was bad. That was bad. Make that good. I don't know. I'm sorry for everyone who loves Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
I have never watched that movie. I don't know what it's about.
Well, there's an attack. And there's killer tomatoes. You are now caught up.
Okay, no one wants to see that. I'm just saying.
Anyway, we're getting off track.
Okay, anyway.
So toxic a little bit sometimes.
Yes. But chemistry with the casting is absolutely wonderful.
So can I talk about Snake Boy? It's just...
His name is Cheng.
Okay, Snake Boy. So, if you like snakes, that's fine. It's a red flag for me personally, but I would never like want to date someone who's like really into snakes, but that's me personally. There are people out there who do. My issue was the snake fighting scene at the beginning, the introduction to his character.
I agree with you, but the whole snakes thing it represents his ex.
No, I understand it going forward after that scene, but that scene to me is so different than the way his characters portrayed the rest of the series to me of someone who, you know, oh, the snakes are my kids and I care about them and da-da-da-da. It's like, no, like people who enjoy animal fighting are kind of like pieces of shit.
Yeah.
You know, and like you don't care about the animals who are fighting because they're just a prize for you to put in the ring and win. So like that is so counter to who he is the rest of. That was a horrible character introduction.
It was a really bad idea, and I don't really think they thought it through. I think the whole goal of the first scene and the snakes and this like cavern of snakes is just to make his character seem very dangerous and very unapproachable, right?
Mm-hmm. For sure, that worked. That part worked.
The thing is, because his character does see his snakes as his kids and they are like very important to him, I don't see that character ever wanting to put their snakes in danger, which we see it was such like, he was so reluctant to kill his snake to save Suo Wei's life, right? There is no way that this character would put his son basically in danger where another snake could bite or strangle him to death.
Yeah, I mean, it's like baby fights. Like, we don't see, like, parents putting their toddlers in rings and having, like, 4-year-old baby fights. Like, you're like, it's infant fights. And they just, like, roll around their diapers and smother each other. Like, we don't see that happening because parents value the life of their kids.
Yeah.
I mean, most do. I mean, there's probably somebody out there listening right now who's like, ooh, baby fights, great idea. Mel is one of them. It's like, wow, why don't we sanction baby fights? The UFC would be so much more interesting if it was toddlers kicking each other's asses.
When you said that, I imagined, I'm like, that'd be so fun to watch. The thing is, if you put two babies in like a ring together, they're not gonna
No,
fight.
they'll just play.
Yeah.
I mean, you cover them in like, I don't know, like baby catnip, and then they go at each other. I don't know. There's a way to make them drug-crazed baby fights. But either way, parents who love their children would never put their children into baby fight club. That's my point.
Yes, basically. So that scene, the beginning, really does not work for his character.
It really doesn't.
And that's what I wanted to say, is that, like, I feel like watching this drama, the beginning, the tone of it was so off and so uneven. It was just really imbalanced for the latter half of the show. And I personally enjoyed the last half way better.
Well, I would say the first half of the show, it seems like these two characters are not, like, they're trying to say these two characters are from different worlds. To me, especially, like, if you took the first scene out of it, I would have a little less of this problem. But when that scene is there, I think these two characters are in two different TV shows. Like, and somehow they keep ending up on screen together, and then I'm not sure what the hell I'm watching.
Yeah, it's because of the tonal issue, and it really starts out really slapsticky and just comedic, and the weird wig that he had on, and like the cotton he had inside his shirt to make him
buff or whatever that was.
Apparently he had gained weight from when he first started the girl. And so so she's like, well, when we first dated, at least you were good looking. Now you've let yourself go, kind of thing.
But on his side, it's completely slapstick comedy, and then the other guy is in like a gangster film.
Yeah, like gangster, like just super dangerous, super like scary. And I know he's supposed to be like, he is supposed to be dangerous, but it's so caricature-y that you can't really take it seriously.
I agree. But once they get into it, I think that's what we talk about, the chemistry. Once they get there with it, then we're seeing the part that you're like, okay, this is the show I want to watch.
Yeah, and it took a few episodes for them to really develop that chemistry, where I'm like, okay, I really want this to happen. I really want them to fall for each other. I want them, to like, want to be with each other. And it did take a while. I personally think it was really weird that how close Suo Wei and Zhang Shuai like became so close
after meeting once.
Well, yeah, it was just weird because I don't know why, but the first time I watched it, I thought they had been friends forever, like they were just close friends. But like, what was really the case was, like the girl's like new boyfriend had beat him up, and then he passed out, and then they sent him to Shuai's like clinic, and then when Suo Wei wakes up, he's like, "Are you okay?" And they didn't know each other.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're like besties, and they're telling each other all these secrets, and then like developing plans and schemes together.
The scheming is a bridge pretty far. I don't know if I would go to this scheming length with someone I have known a long time, let alone someone who like got dropped off in my clinic.
Yeah, so it was just like, it was weird and odd, and I just like, and their relationship developed so soon and so quickly. And I know some people be like, oh, some people just click and then they become besties, and I get that. Like, I've met people like that before, but
for sure.
like,
yeah,
but this is like,
it's a little, but you're going to like the scheming of it. It's like, it's, think of the friend you would like call to help them, like help you like bury a body. It's not the guy you met yesterday. Hey, I just hit someone with my car. Can you help me bury a body? Not that I've ever tried that. But like, yeah, I don't think it's the guy I met last week, even no matter how well we clicked.
Yeah. So, I thought that was weird.
Can I say something about the tone too? I think a lot of shows we've been watching lately have this issue, and it's a character tone thing. It's a show tone thing where you can be an action comedy, you can be a romantic comedy, you can be an action romance. You have to be something first and foremost, and then everything has to be a second priority. And some of these shows, I can never tell what their priority is in the scene. Like, wait, am I watching an action show that prioritizes the action that's also funny? Or am I watching a comedic show that also has action in it? And so some of these shows feel so, it's lopsided is the wrong word, but just out of balance with themselves, because you never know from one scene to the next. Wait, so am I watching the action show yet? Or am I watching the romance show? Or am I watching the action, rom-com, romance, dark, dramatic, slapstick, what am I watching? Like indie film.
It's whatever the scene works. And so when you see it as a whole, it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, like this character needs to be quirky in this scene, so all of a sudden they're quirky out of nowhere. You're like, well, if this character isn't quirky, this character is a little kind of like a wet napkin. They're a little mopey. Why is he quirky suddenly? Oh, the scene needed him to be quirky, or vice versa. And I'm like, I want characters to have consistent character, because that's where human beings come into the equation of, like, we have feelings, and yes, we can be different depending on the circumstances, but we don't just check our main character traits at the door and do what the scene needs. That would be fake.
Yeah.
So, rant over.
And it's not just specifically this drama. It's been a lot of shows that we've watched recently where it's just very uneven, and I don't think the writer or the director or whoever really thought it through of, would this character really do this?
Sometimes the concept wags the character, and that should never be the case, where the concept of, oh man, I got a really funny idea for a scene. Like, I can tell you how many times in a writer's room we've thrown that idea away because it's not consistent with the character. It's not that the idea for that comedy bit wasn't bad, but you're like, well, no, this character just lost their son. They wouldn't then be in some sort of slapstick comedy routine. That would be a weird thing for that character. So, not that idea is bad, it's just it's bad for this character. And I find a lot of these shows, and again, I'm not picking on this one in particular, there's a lot of them these days that feel like, oh, this needs to be the funny scene, so now our characters are just in a comedy. And that's just how it is. And now we're in a deep-seated drama 2 scenes later, and it's like, did they just forget they were doing that slapstick routine together?
Yeah.
I guess this scene needs them to be sad, okay.
So, I do have to say, as I said before, it took me a longer time to get into it in the beginning. And then, of course, like, them starting to have feelings for each other, little things in the show, like, kind of made it work. And, like, the little subtleties of, like, Suo Wei kind of getting jealous.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I think he thinks it's jealousy for the girl, the ex, but really, like, it's jealousy over him.
Mm-hmm.
So those parts were pretty good. Mainly their interaction. And then, of course, the 2 besties being Dumb and Dumber together, which is like, it is like...
straight comic relief.
Yeah. But it does show, like, having that, like, support there really gives you the confidence to do anything.
Well, the support system, and we always talk about how, like, the gathering of the team is something we like so much. And, like, those people who are just true blue in your corner, like, it's something we all want. We all want to think we have that. Or at least if we don't have it, I feel like it's a human thing to want that, to want those people who are in your corner, like, ride or die, no matter how dumb your idea is. They're like, let's go.
Yeah. Although he gets pretty sassy and was like, yeah, that would never work. Or, yeah, you'll never top him, only in your dreams. Like, he's not...
Well, he's being realistic.
Yeah. But he goes along with the idea anyway.
But I think that's where it's fun, or that's where it's interesting, is you're like, no, your idea is dumb, but if that's where you want to go, like, I'll do my best to get you there. I think this is ill-advised. And then, of course, it is.
Yeah. So those are good moments that really kind of build the show up. For me, what really made the show, it definitely knocked the show up one level, is their breakup scene.
Now, this is what we're talking about, though. We're getting into the type of the show that you want to watch.
Yeah.
Which it's like, we haven't turned the show off yet because of the slapstick, but now we're getting into the Mel show. We're getting into the romance, the emotion, the subtlety, all the good stuff now.
Yeah. And I love those moments where like you're holding it in, and then it just like pours out. But what I love most about this breakup scene is that even though he's very mad that he was lied to and schemed, and he knew he was scheming, but his thought was that he was scheming to get in his good graces. He was scheming to seduce him, not scheming for revenge, which, right. Because he knew he was scheming from like day one, right?
Yeah. He wasn't super subtle.
Yeah. And so like, but it's all those emotions that he held back, and to even have the conversation. Like, there are so many shows, dramas out there, movies, like that this scene would be a yelling match.
Mm-hmm.
And I would absolutely hate that. But because it was so like held back, that you really feel those true emotions. It's not just yelling and like talking louder, and like you're actually feeling those emotions with the character.
Yeah, I was watching a video recently of an actor talking about playing emotion, and he was saying that actors should never just play emotion. You have to find the circumstance in which that emotion would come out. And it doesn't just come out at the highest level in a scream right away. Like, that's not how we behave. Like, we're hurt, and we have to find the words. And it's not the first word that comes out of your mouth that's, I'm disappointed, but I'm also like disappointed in myself, but then I'm also upset at you, and then I'm upset at myself for falling for it, and then it's this wave that just takes over, and then it builds to a place that you just can't hold it back anymore.
Yeah.
And so you're almost playing against the emotion, because that's how we all are. In a crying moment in your own life, you're trying all your might not to cry.
Yeah.
And then you can't help it anymore, and it comes out. That's real. That gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, and I find this scene, and as you said before, like, it's not just anger, right? Like, yelling, sure, you're angry, whatever, right? But it's like the disappointment, and like all these emotions that you're like, that's going through your mind.
And you feel stupid. Like, when you're fooled, you're feeling stupid, and that's another layer of emotion. And so I think that, well, look, when you write in a script, like, he wells up, it's 3 words, but that is the dam threatening to burst.
Yeah.
And watching an actor hold it back with all their might until the right moment, like, that's where you go, oh, someone understands.
Yeah. And he says a line where it's like, just tell me that you actually love me, or tell me those feelings were true, kind of thing. And then he's like, and then I'll believe you, and everything will be fine, and we're gonna like go the rest of our relationship hunky dory.
Yeah.
Like, not those words.
You can fix it all right now by saying one thing to me.
Yeah. And I'll just believe you. Like, that is like such a, like, he's put away all his pride, and he's laid out everything for him, right? And it's not about anger. It's about saving this relationship. So of course you wouldn't be screaming and yelling and like just showing other people how mad you are. It is like, I am willing to save what we have. Just let me know that you also want to save it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it was so disappointing when Suo Wei said, like, no, I've approached you. Like, he didn't say no or fully, but like,
he doesn't say the words he's waiting for to hear.
Yeah. And so, and then it's like extreme disappointment. It's no longer anger. Anger is like the bottom, like, not that important emotion.
Mm-hmm.
It's always disappointment. That's like the stronger emotion.
Yeah, I mean, stronger is an interesting word, because I do think anger, at least in the dramatic sense, is one of the weakest emotions. Like, it's the easiest to play, and it's just, it doesn't mean that much. I'm angry. It's like, okay, well, in 10 seconds, you'll get a donut and you'll be happy. Like, who cares? But disappointment and, like, heartache and sadness are so deeply rooted and deeply tied to the event that happened and the trauma that has been triggered. It takes more than a donut to get over it.
Yeah.
I'm going to put that on a t-shirt. Takes more than a donut.
And you can do that. Anyway, so that is why I would have to say this is one of my favorite breakup scenes.
Mm-hmm.
It's acted well. It's just like carried well. It was directed well. The emotions flowed. And then, Cheng leaves the room and Suo Wei's like, if I love you, you're telling me you can't feel it, but he says that to himself. Like, yes, it's directed towards Cheng, but it's really said to himself,
Mm-hmm.
And so just those, and it's true. It's like, you should be able to feel that it's real,
Yeah, but it's this, like, it's trying to, like, assign logic to illogic, and it's messy. Like, I think that's why it's good, is that we don't often just say our emotions out loud to each other. Like, no, you should know. No, you should know. Miscommunication is the mother of all, disagreements in the world, especially emotional ones.
Yeah.
And so it just makes sense. I'm glad they didn't let themselves off the hook in this scene of keeping it messy, keeping it emotional, keeping it irrational a little bit from it's just a mix of, like, you really leave that scene feeling like you've witnessed a breakup.
Yeah.
And not just witnessed a fight.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I say smart things sometimes.
Well, because you think, like, fight and breakup are the same thing, but it definitely isn't.
Absolutely not. But I will say they don't end up being broken up that long, right?
It was I think it was 3 days, and
yes.
they couldn't handle it.
They give themselves a little bit of a cop-out later by going, it's fine. We really do love each other.
I mean, I think, they don't really... I think in between there was the mother passing away, so...
yeah, nothing brings together people like a dead mom.
So there is another scene in this drama that I thought, was really good. It's the tracking shot of Suo Wei coming into the home after his mom's funeral. And it's it doesn't cut. It's one shot. And it's every time he lands, he'll see a scene with his mom. And he's reminiscing about his mom being in that house,
right.
And interacting with his mom. And that shot and that song works so well with that scene.
Well, it works so well in a lot of ways because it's showing how important that house is. It's showing how much his mom means to him. Like, it's really setting up the back half of the drama here with, his attachment to the tree, his attachment to the house, his attachment to family. And it's setting all that up here in a very in a dramatic way. It's a nice slow pull.
Yeah. But what I like is it's not a scene where he's just crying his eyes out.
No, absolutely not. It's it's almost he's emotionally exhausted.
Yeah. And that's why that scene and that shot is so mature.
Mm-hmm.
Only that they bring it back a second time when he sells the house. When
he's packing their pictures and leaving the house, they do a version of that same tracking shot.
Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly the same, but it's it's bringing that same emotion back with the same song, with the same, kind of following him around. It's not the exact, lines, of course, but...
And also they don't really cut to the flashes in the same way or seeing the past. It's just more ethereal.
Yeah.
It's the same motif, same song, same general feeling. It's just kind of one's entering, one's exiting. It's kind of symmetry.
Yeah. So I personally think that works, although it's not the same as the first shot. But then they try to bring that song back in a third time. And it's not the same tracking shot at all, but it Cheng buys the house back, for him and surprises him, and he like is happy, and like the minute he opens the door and he has his blindfold on, the song comes on. It doesn't work. That song it's not, I don't think that song should be highlighted in this moment, because this moment is about him starting new. Like, yes, it's the old house and he got it back, but it's like it represents their life together, brand new.
Yeah, that was a very reminiscing of the past song.
Yeah.
And now it's being used. And again, I love the blindfold thing is perfect, as the song starts before our character who was reminiscing to this song understands the context of the scene. So like just the music cue itself is too early.
Yeah.
It's like, why is it playing this song already? He doesn't even know where he is. He's got a blindfold on going, where am I? Where am I? And they're already playing this like, da, 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 it's sad and reminiscy time. And you're like, no, it's not.
Yeah. So I think that was really off, and I don't know if they just really wanted, I think their concept was off, but I think it should have been a different song, I think they should have done another tracking shot, but not in the same way. Like a separate, full, like, new tracking shot, and it, like, represents their future and their new beginning and their life together as, like, and very like accepted couple from their friends and family. So for me, using that same song, it was a mistake.
I think so too. I mean, I think I'm trying to figure out how doing that kind of tracking shot motif would even work here, because to me, doing it at all steps on the two times you've done it before. And it's like, it's hard to do the same thing a new way. Like, you could change the song, but you're still like, no, it was kind of sadness coming home after his mother's passing, and then sadness leaving a place that he loves so much. And now the feeling is like them, it should be the feeling of them walking in there hand in hand going, hey, I got it back for us, for the two of us. But I feel like you just need to abandon that idea of this kind of tracking shot at all, to do something completely different that represents that. Because I don't know how it doesn't feel the same, even if you just tweaked it a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that. I just like I definitely wanted something completely separate from those two.
Like what I would have wanted in that is, because the way they start that is they're on the ground, and then it tilts up to them coming through the door, and he's blindfolded. So as an audience member, we're ahead of our character.
Yeah.
I would have rather them start on an extreme close-up with that blindfold and him just, where am I? And as he takes the blindfold out, we pull out and whip around and we see where he is. And we get to experience their first moment together in this place with him.
Yeah.
And see that look on his face as we pull back and you see the courtyard and he realizes what's just happened. Now, that's a new motif and that's a new beginning, and that's something that you get to experience with the characters. Now I feel it. And that it was just kind of like, I don't know if it was laziness. I don't know if it was just, oh, this is just a fun way of starting it. And then you slap that song on it and suddenly it's the same thing. Like, I know that some of these dramas love using these like, it's sad time music, and they play the same song 46 times, which is, I hate always. But here especially, it puts the wrong taste in your mouth.
I do have moments where I don't think is very good. I think I think spending too much time on Yue Yue, which is the ex-girlfriend, I think they spend too much time on Wang Shuo. The Cheng's ex-boyfriend, when he comes back. So like, it's fine that they have, with the girl who basically starts everything. I understand why she's in it, clearly, and how he has to get rid of her, and like, but like, just like little things of them coming back, and then of course she's one of the main reasons why Cheng finds out that she's Suo Wei's ex, right? But like, they give her too much.
Yeah, I mean, I understand at the beginning, too, like you say, you want to make her the bad guy, and you want to make his revenge justified. Like, he really needs to feel wronged at the beginning. But, like, there's a certain point where, like, nah, I don't need to see her anymore.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And that's pretty quick.
Yeah. And then the same with Wang Shuo, like, they do several things at the same, like, over and over again, like, you know, checking Wang Shuo's computer, like, a few times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, him coming back and, like, pretending to be, like, all in with Cheng again. Like, that, it's fine, like, once, you know, but it doesn't need to be so repetitive to the point where it gets to the point where, like, all of a sudden, Cheng's arrested. Right?
Yeah, really abrupt.
Very abrupt. And then it's this huge thing where, like, they don't develop that point where, like, you know, the assistant guy, Suo Wei's, like, second assistant in the company, like, we barely even know he exists. Like, we know he's there because he works at the company, but, like, there's no developing that part because they spent so much time on Yue Yue and Wang Shuo, which these love triangles that's, like, fake, and, you know, where, like, the real obstacle you put really no effort to, like, build up.
Yeah.
So when it comes, you're so blindsided, and I understand it's, like, they're blindsided by this whole thing because they've been set up, but, like,
it's not as satisfying, though. Like, a lot of times people will pitch, even in a writer's room, like, oh, it'll be a really good surprise. And you're like, yeah, okay, a surprise gets me one moment.
Yeah.
And that's all it gets me. But if you set things up, then you get lots of scene work and you get lots of emotional, you know, mixed bags of, you know, mess.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, the surprise. It's like,
But also, when the audience has that tension of kind of like, oh, guessing that this person's gonna set them up, or, like, whatever, something's bad's gonna happen, the audience has that tension, right? And we're worried for the two that are completely oblivious, right?
And we're wondering when that shoe's gonna drop.
Yeah. Like, I think that's stronger than, like, keeping the, like, I feel like love triangles are so easy to do, and they're really cliche, and it's the same tropes over and over again. And, like, I don't think it's necessary, but, like, if you're gonna try to, like, you know, say, oh, this person's back, or this exists and it's gonna affect your relationship, it's like, sure, whatever, that could happen. But, like, you don't need to put as much emphasis on it as the real big problem here.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think that is also a mistake, like a miss for the show, is that not developing the whole Cheng getting arrested part.
Yeah, it's tricky because, like, when you're talking about that tension of, like, you know, the other shoe is going to drop and when it's going to happen, and the audience understands there's something out there, like, you almost want to be worried about it, and then the audience kind of forgets it exists, and then it comes back.
Exactly.
And you're like, now I'm surprised.
And then also, like, you're giving your audience that moment, like, oh, I knew that was going to happen, and it makes the audience feel really smart for, like, guessing
and included.
Yeah. So I feel like that should have been more of a concern for the show rather than the possibility of a love triangle, or, you know, like a third party. And then, like, some weird idea too where they introduced where Cheng and Cheng Yu could possibly be, like, a thing, and they secretly actually love each other, kind of thing.
Which no one wants.
No one wants.
There's no one watching this going, that's my ship.
I mean, I'm sure someone has a ghost ship of them too, but, like, but
because of the actors, maybe, I guess, but maybe.
Maybe, yeah, probably most likely the actors and not the characters.
No, these two characters, no.
Yeah, so it's just like, them even, like, entertaining that idea was silly, and it just puts more, like, changing the tone again to more slapstick when they even, you know, put that out there, where they could have really put a good, like, effort and attention on, like, the main obstacle in their relationship, like their biggest climax of him going to jail.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so those are some things that I kind of feel like it
fell short.
Yeah.
Overall, you liked it though, so I mean, is it time to rate it?
Overall I liked it a lot, and as I said again, that breakup scene really leveled up my rating. So it would have been lower, but because of that breakup scene, and I keep thinking back, and we might have to do an episode of like our favorite breakup scenes now because of this breakup scene.
Oh, interesting.
But I feel like this is one of my favorite breakup scenes. I give this a drinks on a pool deck.
So for me, I would say onboard karaoke, and then it's only because of the weird tone of the show, where like I could see a world where I watch the first episode of this and don't watch another episode after that, because I'm like, the tone, this is so weird. I don't know where they're going. I don't know what show I'm watching. Like it seems like a show in another sit down that I would drop. Because before it gets good, I don't know what the show is. Yeah. And I don't know what you're trying to tell. Am I watching a comedy? Am I like it? Because there was parts that reminded me. What's the other one where the guy was like twerking in the convenience store? Oh, like it had like
Wandy Good Day.
Yeah, Wandy. It kind of felt like that for a bit, and then it was like, no, we're in Young and Dangerous. He's got snakes and he's a gangster and he's a bad boy. And I'm like, what are we watching? So I think that's like it. I don't know what this wanted to do other than everything. Like, you should be able to tell from a show something about the people making it. You should be able to tell, oh, these people really like, I'm going to show it, these people really like puzzles. You can tell from the show that these people really like puzzles. Oh, these people really like mysteries. Oh, these people really like romance. You could not tell me from the beginning of the show what the creators of the show liked. It was just kind of like, they like scenes in general. So, not bad. Not bad. I think that's where I take it down a letter grade from where I would put it up. I go the other way, onboard karaoke.
Yeah. So I want to go back and talk a little bit about, and this could be our Rex, the heyday of Chinese BL, because there has been many Chinese BLs that have been overlooked, because people, BL fans have called 2025 as like a not a resurgence, but like a rise in Chinese BL. Mm-hmm. But like before 2025, 10 years ago, there was that rise already. And I think the ones that like kind of paved the way for us to get the material that we're getting now, we have to kind of look back on it. There is a movie. It is super toxic and super red flags. It wasn't great, I'm not going to lie. But it was one that really had a lot of chemistry. And, old BL fans might have watched it. It's called Irresistible Love. I didn't necessarily like it, but I liked the actors in it. Mm. And that led me to really start following the actors. And then I personally absolutely loved, and I kind of wish they would do a remake of this one. It's called Love is More Than a Word. It is a Chinese BL that's like it's a costume drama. Not that many episodes, but it was very complete, and it honestly, I feel like it would still be on par with some of the stuff that came out now. So I definitely recommend that. I know Addicted was huge, and I feel like a lot of people had watched Addicted already. That was one of the reasons why it got banned. BL got banned back then. Because of the chemistry between the two actors, who are now like both. Well, one I think is divorced and the other is married. So
okay.
But at that time, it was like that first wave of like being banned from being able to be seen in public together.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, were they not allowed to be around each other in public events?
Yeah. So they literally got banned, and they still to this day have not been seen together in public, like, you know, on shows, variety shows, whatever. They were banned so hard. It was like a really hard ban. And then second to that was Zhan and Huang Yibo, right? And then technically a soft ban this time because of revenge love. So, you know, these are some BLs that really made waves, and I just wanted to highlight some of them.
It also shows you how tricky the political climate is with making these shows. And, you know, your success sometimes puts you in the spotlight of people you may not want to be in the spotlight for. And it's sad that that's the case, that you can't just make your show and make your art and have to not worry about repercussions from, you know, I mean, society, you're always going to have repercussions from people who don't like what you're doing. But, you know, having like the government kind of come down and be like, nope, you can no longer exist in a public space together and enforce it and, you know, ruin your career. And that's just, it's so wild.
It's true. Like with Johnny Huang and Timmy Xu, like they were banned for so long, and it took them so many years to like actually be in new projects. So like with Zhan and Wang Yibo, like Zhan, there was a couple years where, you know, he wasn't like putting anything out because he had so much backlash and all this stuff, right? Which we don't usually talk about, but like you kind of see the, like back in 2015, it took so long before they each were able to develop their careers, right? And then Xiao is a shorter time. And now with, you know, the Ziyu and Tian, like they, I mean, we call it a soft ban because they are still like working and they're not like that. I mean, yes, Tian got like erased from Hello Saturday, but like his billboards are everywhere still. Like it's.
I mean, that's how you have to break the barriers. They don't come down all at once. It's progress sucks sometimes, but you have to be patient and just keep chipping away at those walls. And, you know, you might not always reap the benefits from your efforts, but I think that's what we all have to do is if we want those walls to disappear, you just have to chip at them one at a time. And hopefully 10 years from now, banning actors would be like such a weird idea in the first place, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. But that is our episode for today. Thanks for listening.
We'll see you next time.